All right, and we are live. I'm so excited. Hi, Haran.
Hey, how are you?
Really good. We have so many friends excited and ready to rock and roll. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me here.
How is, we'll wait a few more minutes for our friends to join, but tell me, how are things in Tel Aviv? Is it hot?
Super hot, super humid. I think it's about 33 degrees right now. But we're used to it, and it's better to go to the beach like this when it is in winter. So enjoying what I can.
That's awesome. And, how are things right now with the current dynamics? Are you guys allowed to go to the beach at least?
So we are allowed to go to open places, so the beach, parks, places like that are fine. There are some limitations on restaurants and bars, but we're trying to do the best we can. Workplaces are still closed, but everyone is working from home, doing their best, and I'm sure it's all going to be over soon, hopefully.
I know, fingers crossed. And with that's why we had the idea of behind the conference specifically because of this. Everyone is, even you and I, we're used to seeing each other at conferences, and all our other friends in the industry. And it was a tough year for everyone. So we figured, why not give the people the opportunity to meet and connect and listen to speakers that normally they would have to travel, a lot to see.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone in this industry can consider themselves lucky that companies like you guys are allowing them to get this knowledge and this content for free. And everyone's super happy to pitch in. I know us and Outbrain as well had a few webinars that we did. And again, everything is done online, so I can take my laptop to the beach and do my work from there. It's not as good as meeting you face to face, but it's something.
Oh my gosh, and your webinars are fantastic. I heard so many of our affiliates say, oh, Haran, I listened to one of his webinars recently and it was really good. So, congrats. Just giving back, stuff like that, right? It's super amazing.
Yeah, I think again, giving what I can is the best I can do for our clients or even people who are not working with us and will consider doing it one day. Knowledge is free and it should be shared, and it's something I'm a true believer of.
Well, we have the first love note here. Giuseppe says, Haran is the best. Well, yeah, I agree. Giuseppe is a good friend of ours too, so.
I think he's a great example. He's working with one of our offices. He's not working with my team, but still, we're good friends. Him and his team and his boss and his colleagues, we're all good friends, really close. And the reason we're such good friends is because I'm always trying to help them, and they're helping me out a lot as well with their knowledge. So thank you, Pepe.
Can you hear me okay now? I think it was just off for a second.
Yeah, I think you got cut off.
All right, it's almost time, 2 more minutes, for yeah, hopefully it's better now. It's better, and everyone being in the home offices, we're gonna have, we do our best to have like the best connection and the best backdrops.
Yeah, I think everyone's used to it. It's a new environment we have to work from.
Right, especially in our industry, it's a must. All right, 1 more minute. Well, I see we have so many people that are already on and live. Thank you guys. This is amazing. I know so many of our friends and our affiliates already know who you are. For all the new friends that are logging in, turning on their cameras right now, can you please introduce yourself and just give us some background on what you do and who you are?
Of course. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm Haran. I'm the Director of New Business and Sales at Outbrain. I work mostly with affiliates, not because the company decided that I have to, it's because I wanted to. I've been an affiliate myself. That's my first job out of college, where everyone went to ad agencies. I went to become an affiliate. I did that for about 2-3 years, working only on native platforms, Outbrain, Taboola, Rev content, all of those. Decided that working from home is a bit difficult for me, which I have to relive again now. So I joined a performance agency in Israel and opened the native department, did the content writing myself, found the offers, did everything I can. So why I'm working with affiliates is because I'm still considering myself one. And I love doing it. So thank you guys for challenging me every day.
That's amazing. And, this was a big reason why, we decided to invite Haran today. Not just because of his expertise as an affiliate, and he started as one of you guys. He actually cares. He chooses to be the one that works with affiliates, and everything he has done in his career, he's choosing to do this. And for us personally at MaxWeb, you guys know our policy is to help a lot of people and a lot of new affiliates get into the space. Haran loves this, and I see how he's excited to connect with affiliates, and I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. And again, like it's not just helping them out; it's helping my company. But again, I would be the one telling you guys not to run a specific offer on Outbrain, not just because it's not going to work for us, but again, if I see something that's going to cost you guys money and there's zero chances of success, I would rather tell you guys not to go live with it and not test it because I want to protect you as much as I can. And when there is a good opportunity, I'm the first one to be there and reach out to you.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I got a lot of questions from affiliates. I'm sure we're going to have more as we go live. Let's get to the basic. If I'm an affiliate and I'm debating between Outbrain and another native platform, I have a bit of capital, I'm ready to invest. Why should I choose Outbrain?
So my first answer, and that's the simplest one, never choose before testing something. I know I have competition out there. I'm the first one to say, bring on the competition, test both of us, test 3 of us if you can, but if you are limited on a budget, there's a few questions you have to ask yourself. First of all, is the platform you're choosing, does it have enough traffic? I'm without a doubt saying we have more than enough. If you take the US, for example, which is a primary market for all of us, we have a wider reach right now than Facebook, so that's a big point. Is the quality of the traffic good enough? Look at the publishers we have in Europe. Look at the publishers we have in the US. So CNN, The Spiegel, Us and El Mundo in Spain. There's tons of them. News in Australia. There's so many publishers, so the quality is there. User value, again, we don't have kids. We don't have 15-year-old people reading the news. The type of publishers bringing high-valued users. I used to find it myself when I was running campaigns, and I hear it from my clients all the time. But the most important question you have to ask yourself, is the platform suitable for your type of business? We've made so many changes in the past 2.5 years to make it more suitable for affiliates. So right now, when you set up campaigns, there's something called conversion-based strategy, where the system actually optimizes it for you towards your CPA goal. So it saves working hands. ROI is coming much, much faster. We have a dedicated part within our website just for affiliates, a huge knowledge center. So you have blog posts that I wrote or my colleagues wrote. There's webinars we did. There's everything you could imagine dedicated for affiliates, not just for performance marketeers. We recently launched a tool called Brainpower, where you can actually choose the country and the vertical and get so many insight about your potential users. So you can see if someone is reading, let's say you're promoting a health product. So you can do that and see if they're reading more about entertainment and use that knowledge to target your specific audience in your next campaign. So again, it's all about saving you guys time and money and making sure you are positive. Those are the reasons.
That's amazing. And all these tools and the webinars and everything that you were telling us about, is this available for affiliates that are just getting started or the veterans that have been doing this for a long time?
Available for everyone. It's out there. You can just Google Outbrain and affiliates. You would find the blog posts. You would find the webinars, the recordings. Google Brainpower, that's going to come up. The CBS, the conversion-based mode I mentioned, that's available not just for managed clients, but if you don't have a big budget and you want to try it on a self-serve account with a minimum budget, that's something which is available. We're never going to charge you extra for any of our features. So interest targeting, all of that kind of stuff is free of charge. You just pay a CPC like any other platform.
Oh, that's fantastic. Because genuinely, a big reason why we decided to do this, this is a really good year for affiliates, right? And, at MaxWeb, we have over, I think we crossed 16,000 partners at this point. And normally, through all of those affiliates, you're going to have affiliates that maybe have been doing Facebook and social media, but they're ready to do more, right? And genuinely, a big reason why we invited you, when our partners started working with Outbrain, we noticed they always got good results, right? So to us, we can be nice people, we can like you can like us, but at the end of the day, I know affiliates expect results. So, for all the new partners that are listening, because we have so many people commenting and starting to get online right now to see you, what is the easier way for them to start with Outbrain? Right now, tomorrow they want to do a test. They're putting their Facebook campaign on pause. They want to give Outbrain a try. What should they do first?
So first of all, be ready to sit on your chair and learn as much as you can. A lot of what you guys have done on Facebook or on search campaign or any other platforms may not be relevant. So again, I mentioned the knowledge sharing. Go ahead and read what you can. I highly suggest opening some of our publishers and reading the news over there just to see our widgets and see what's going on. You can easily spot the best ads just by the way they look. You can see which pages are working for you. Make sure you have a really good page and be as patient as you can. Results are not going to be there in 24 hours. You need to understand that what some people may consider you have to lose money, I don't see it as that way. I see that you have to invest time and money in your campaign at the beginning to make sure you're scalable in the future, make sure everything works. I don't want you guys to spend $250 a day from day one because you're going to lose a lot of money. You have to start slowly, be patient, make sure you have really good content, which is super important. Make sure your page looks good. Make it as interactive as you can. I know you guys at MaxWeb use videos, which always make the pages work better. If there's an option, you guys, to put questionnaires in it, it's amazing. Have your campaigns set up for performance on your mindset, but also, again, using the tools we have available. Work on your creatives. Don't copy anyone else, because what's going to happen if you copy ads, you never know the results, but also your CTR is going to go down. So make sure you have click-friendly ads, not clickbaity one. There's a big difference here. Make sure you're original. Don't copy, but take inspiration from other people. See what brands are doing. See what other affiliates are doing, and slowly start doing that. Another great idea for you guys, you can always reach out to me. You can do it via LinkedIn, just message me. It takes me a while sometimes to answer, but again, I'm going to be able to direct you in the right area of what you need to do specifically for you and send you to the right team, give you the best tips I have. Again, do what I can to help you.
That's amazing. Thank you. I'm, as I was listening, we have so many comments and everyone loves you. So we'll do, at the end of the conference, we'll do a fun page for Haran. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm joking, but I'm so excited. And, obviously I'm so grateful you're here. And thank you for that. And I believe that's such an intricate and important part. And I love the fact that you said, if you're serious about this, you are thinking about giving Outbrain a try, get ready to learn. That's beautiful. That's the truth, right? And all the partners that I personally have seen as being very successful, that's exactly what they did, right? They were not afraid of hustling, and hustle usually means sitting there for 12 hours at a time and working really hard. I don't know if it's your experience as well, but people have this conception of digital marketers where they think we work for an hour at the beach and that's it.
There's no, even when we go to the beach, we work 24 hours, it's 24/7. Most of the time for affiliates, it's our money on the line. And I keep saying ours is, again, I see myself as one of you guys. I remember when I was an affiliate, my friends used to go crazy. They used to come visit me over the weekend. And I used to walk around with my laptops, having a beer with them, but still working, still trying to flip that money, make a quick buck, and make everything ROI positive. I think that's the affiliate side of mind. You need to understand that there's always money that you can gain, and there's always knowledge that you can gain as well. The idea is combining both of them. If you combine the money and the knowledge you gain, then the possibilities are endless.
That's amazing. And let's be super specific. What's the minimum I should be spending a day if I want to see some results?
That's a quite a broad question, but let's say you have a CPA goal of $50. I would not spend less than $75 to $100 because you need to give your campaign a chance to explore a few publishers. You need to make sure your budget is sufficient to test all the publishers, or at least some of them. But again, you also want it to be scalable. If your CPA goal is $2 for a conversion, I wouldn't even test it. But you need to make sure your CPA's goal is high enough, high as it can be, but it needs to be between, let's say, $75 to $100. That's a good place to be at. I don't want you guys to spend more than that because, again, if one publisher which is not suitable for you but is suitable for some other offer takes over, I don't want you to lose a lot of money. So again, make sure you invest enough. $75 is usually good enough for performance, for affiliates, for health offers, all of those, that should be enough.
That's awesome. And, do you see, we have a lot of affiliates that are starting and, even our partners, with MaxWeb usually have medium-sized affiliates that usually have worked super hard. They're ready for native and they usually have a nice budget, usually even $500 a day to start. So, we're targeting this speech for them as well. Do you see a direct correlation between the content they use, the quality of the content, and how profitable they are?
For sure. Even though it may seem at the beginning that your CPA goal is a bit higher because you're using another page or longer piece of content, the user quality you're going to get is going to be much, much higher. I can give myself as an example. When I was running mobile apps, I was using the same traffic from native platforms to direct people to the App Store, but I also had another funnel which was at the end of the day content and from there to the App Store. So a lot of people did drop along the way and the conversion rate seemed to be a bit lower. But when I used to talk to my advertisers and we compared the results, the actually user quality between sending them to the App Store, directly converting them and having a really good content-based page, the results were amazing, and I used to get my CPA increased dramatically. The payout I got was much, much higher when I used the landing page. Think about it when a user goes to CNN, for example, and they read the news, they want to continue reading. Make sure you continue their good experience. Don't disrupt them too much. If it looks like an advertisement, if it's too aggressive, they're going to bounce back and not convert. So make sure your pages are good enough. You can hire amazing content writers for really cheap money right now. It's so many websites, even if it's just improving what you currently have. So content will improve your user quality. At the end of the day, it's going to be worth your while. Just invest in content, invest in creatives. Don't copy what other people are saying. I can't remind you guys not to do it enough. It's going to come back and bite you if you do it. Make sure you're original and make sure you do what you do safely in a good enough way.
That's, you touched on a probably sensitive spot there, but we've noticed it in the industry too, with some of the partners at times getting inspiration from other affiliates' content. What do you personally think of that? Usually at MaxWeb, we keep everything extremely private. That's like the worst thing an affiliate can do. Do you guys have a policy against it?
So, there's no clear policy. If someone reaches out to us and says someone copied it, yeah, we're going to check what we can do. But there's nothing I can say it about myself, about my colleagues, that we hate more than someone coming to us and saying, oh, can you show me what my competitor are doing? We're not going to do that. That's from us spitting in the face of someone who invested time, invested money, and is working with us. If you guys find it and want to take inspiration, do it. We're not going to tell you what they're doing. You can find it. You can take inspiration. Trust me, doing what others are doing is never good for you because you never know what's the offer they actually have. You never know what their payout is. You never know what the goal behind their campaigns. A page that you guys see, which is running crazy, at the end of the day, it could be just something they're using to create an audience for retargeting or for lookalikes. They may not bring those conversions from that specific page. So yeah, you can look at how people write. You can look at the way they do layouts, but don't copy everything they do. That's not worth your time. Take inspiration, don't copy. There's a big difference. Again, I can tell you about a meeting I had when I just joined Outbrain. And one of our clients, I'm not going to name the company, which is a huge agency, came up to me and said, we hired an amazing content writer who did an amazing piece of content about mobile apps. It's going to convert like crazy, but we want to hear your feedback. They stole that piece of content, but the biggest mistake they did, they stole a piece of content I wrote. And I was sitting there, they used my alias, they didn't change my name. So again, the respect I had for that company went from 100 to 0 in a second. So I could never take them seriously after that. So always take that under consideration, hoping that you might find the person you copied from.
Oh, that's such a good point. And, thank you for sharing that with us today. For you guys just tuning in now, I see, our viewers number doubled here. Thank you guys. We love you and appreciate you. It happens a lot with us as well. We always get that question from our partners, and we love all of you, even the ones that ask, right? What is the competition doing? Just give us a break in the sense that we love you, we appreciate you, but we cannot share what our other partners are doing, right? It's just simply impossible. And be really careful. I mean, it's okay. There are so many good spy tools, and that's why the spy tools are for, right? To understand what the competition does. Any good business person is going to tell you it's okay to see what the competition does, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't add your own spice to any piece of content that you write, right?
And I think when someone tells me to show them what others are doing, I always answer the same way. I'm going to show you, but you're going to sign an agreement that I can show your piece of content and your successful campaigns to everyone else. Not even one person said yes to that. If you want to,
of course.
And if there's a company telling you this is what your competition is doing, you should understand that your competition are going to know exactly what you're doing. So it's a trust issue. If they show you what, and you've done nothing for that company, if they show you what others are doing, then they're going to show others what you're doing. And that's something that people usually miss out on.
Absolutely. Back in the day, I'm curious too, because we have a media buying team as well. Back in the day, what do you used to use for content tools? Like any specific content tools that you use? For example, us for headlines, we always use the headline analyzer. Do you have any tools that you use, or you used to use for content?
So I'm going to be as honest as I can. My old business partner used to call me a caveman. I didn't use tools. I used everything. I used to see it and write all the headlines and A/B test them the old-fashioned way. I still do it sometimes when I work with, help people out. I'm a strong believer of manual labor in that way. Because at the end of the day, algorithms can miss out on things that you can understand. Because the best algorithm there is, the best program can't understand the human mind. So I used to do that and always tweak and always improve and measure it the old-fashioned way. There might be some tools today that I'm not familiar with, but I love doing it manually. The only tool I can highly recommend to use for your content is make sure you're going to implement a good heat map on your website. So companies like Hotjar, for example, offer an amazing heat map, which also records the user of the page. So you can see where they drop off. You can see where they stop. You can track their mouse and see which area are the best for them. Google Analytics, of course, is also amazing to see which of your links inside the page they're clicking on, and then you can shorten or lengthen your page according to the results you see. So good heat maps, good analytics usually provide the best solutions.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing those, right? Because we at times get so caught up in having so many different tools and hiring different teams from all over the world. But at the end of the day, some of the stuff that you said, and thank you so much for being honest, it goes back to the basics of actually, you can write different headlines, you can even write it yourself, but test. That was the part that I highlighted in my mind here when you said, but test them, right? Any piece of content, you probably agree with me that it has to be tested. If you think
I was in love with so many pieces of content that I wrote that ended up not converting. There's only things you can learn from it, from your mistakes or from the pages that don't work. Don't see it as a failure, see it as something you can grow from. And then you can see, okay, maybe if the article is too long, it's not converting as well. Maybe if I add numbers to the headlines, then the CTR is higher. There's so much you can learn from each one of those small mistakes, failures, or success stories that if you combine it after a while, then you're going to see results so much faster for your second, third, fourth campaigns than you did for the first one.
That's awesome. I love that. And we didn't plan for this, guys. This is a this is a live speech, but this is exactly what I was telling you last week about testing and any piece of material that you do. It's so important to test because it happens a lot on our offers too. You might think a VSL is going to be fantastic, right? It's similar to what we did last year, but until we test, it's going to be impossible. So anyone that's going to promise you stuff like, oh, this is going to be perfect, you're going to get a lot of traffic, it's going to be great, it's impossible if you don't test and you're not sure of what you're going to get.
Exactly, 100%.
Okay, I'm curious now. I feel like I can ask you anything. This is the truth time. A lot of the affiliates that you work with, do you feel like they're also doing social besides the native traffic?
For sure, I would say at least 90% of them. Some of them are running native in parallel to social and get results from both of them. But a lot of them are right now combining both. So you can take our pixel, for example, and implement it with face on the page that you're running on Facebook, and you can create a lookalike audience based on the conversions you're getting from Facebook or any other social platform, but you can also retarget them, and you can do it vice versa. So you can actually use our audience and try and retarget them through Facebook. So if you cross-platform, the results you're going to see are going to be much, much better. There's so much you can learn from one platform and use that knowledge on the other one. You can track the conversions for social on our platform, and you can do the other way around.
Nice.
So try and learn from what you can. So let's say you have a successful campaign on Outbrain. You can use our system to analyze it and see what the interests are for those type of audiences that convert the best. If you take that knowledge, those specific interest targeting features, and use them on Facebook, that's money that you might have lost if you haven't used it before. Think about what you might have missed out, because on Facebook, what Facebook knows is most of it is going to be what people are doing on Facebook. So it's the pages they like, it's what they interact with. But when you look at us, we see what people or users at the end of the day are reading outside of Facebook. It's not that closed garden that Facebook is. So there's a lot you can learn about your audiences. So when I was promoting, again, I'm taking it back to those days, social gaming, everyone told me try and target people who are 35 to 45, mostly women interested in entertainment. But when I analyzed my campaigns, about 60% of my users were actually male who were reading about sports. The reason is because they were ashamed to show it on Facebook. They were playing it on other platforms. So once I was able to do that, my social department used those insights for the Facebook campaigns. And again, the results were much, much better all of a sudden.
That's fantastic. And honestly, I'm so glad I asked you this because we're seeing the same thing. And many times when I see it, this was actually one of the questions. I had my team here ping me as well because we have so many questions. One of the questions before I asked you was really specifically on Facebook. Do I change from Facebook to Outbrain? And I personally, and I'll let you answer as well, I told them to test both, right? It's no competition. Certain offers are going to do very well on both. Or you might think something that's fantastic on Facebook, you test it on Outbrain, and maybe you get a better, profit. You don't know until you test. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%, and it goes back to one of the first questions you asked me. When you asked me, should they test Outbrain, I said they should test everyone. If there's someone telling you, don't test the competition, they're hiding something. They're afraid of the competition. I'm out there saying, test whatever you can. And I'm also telling you, if something works much, much better on a specific platform, much better than Outbrain, allocate the budget towards that platform. I'm not going to tell you to test and lose money with us if I know it's going to happen. Test whatever you can. Test it. There's no other way to do it. And again, if someone tells you not to test our competition, they're afraid of the competition.
That's awesome. I completely agree. If you don't mind, I'll actually switch and ask you some questions that we got from the audience. Which offers are working for you guys right now? for us is obviously health, but I'll let you reply in general what you're seeing.
So again, health offers, especially now on COVID, are amazing. People are a bit more worried and a bit more self-conscious, but because a lot of other countries, people can't leave their houses. They're still in quarantine. They're still in a specific stage where they don't feel comfortable going outside. E-com is booming right now in countries which I never imagined are going to be as good. So we see a lot of e-com campaigns running right now in Israel, which are amazing. In the UK, it's working specifically. It's running crazy. Insurance campaign, investment. Think about the state of mind of the user right now. Everyone is a bit worried, so they're trying to protect themselves, make sure they have enough money for other days. They don't want to go out for stores, so everything is being ordered in. There's so much you can learn, but the biggest tip I can give you right now, when you are choosing a specific vertical, it doesn't matter if it's for social or for native, when you're choosing the geo you want to target, read the news about that specific country. See where the people are at. If it's a country where people are traveling right now freely, then maybe offering them vacations and hospitality and hotel offers for that country, that would be the best solution. If it's a country that everyone is locked in, they're not allowed to leave their house, home delivery meals, e-com, everything that comes to their door is going to work much, much better than any other place. So think about where the user is at geographically, but also think about where they are mentally and what you can do to make sure those are the best ones for them.
Awesome. I love that. One of the questions here that I think is pretty great, I'm not educated to this, so I'll let you explain to us. What changes are you seeing at Outbrain since the Taboola acquisition? Do you see a change?
Yeah, so first of all, it is a merger and not an acquisition. And we are still two separate companies. I don't have colleagues from Taboola. I have competitors from Taboola. We are working separately. Yes, the companies are still talking, and eventually it's going to happen. It's going to be one big company. But right now, both companies are continuing to work full steam ahead towards their goals, towards what they do. So even if you look at the two platforms, it's different platforms, different algorithms, different teams, different publishers. It's still separate. There hasn't been a big change in the way we work. I'm trying to be as aggressive as I can doing my work. I know my competitors are doing the same, but it's all done respectfully, and I know them personally, so still separate companies.
That's awesome, and thank you for being honest, right? Because we have, this is what it's all about, right? We got the questions live, and it's so awesome that we can just ask you. As an affiliate, this one we got on Facebook, e-com. Are you seeing e-com as working on native? We do. What about you in the long run?
So I'm seeing a big improvement in e-com. If you would have asked me, and I'm going to take Israel for example, a year ago, if e-com is something I recommend affiliates to do, I would say that would be my fifth or sixth option. Right now, what we're seeing in Israel, for example, is that e-com is booming because so many people are locked in. I saw my parents ordering stuff online that I've never imagined they're going to do. And I hear the same from my friends. So e-com is working amazingly well. You need to make sure that you have a good offer and make sure you have a good page. It's not going to be easy. It's not as easy as it is on Facebook. Not that it's too easy over there as well. But make sure you have a good page. Make sure you have a good creative. Right now, when there's a heat wave starting everywhere, those air cooler offers you guys are seeing, super. I know a lot of people had internet problems since COVID started because all of a sudden we use our Wi-Fi and not the workplace. Wi-Fi boosters used to be amazing. Everyone is a bit more health conscious. Those smartwatches are working like crazy. So again, make sure you have the right offer. If it's relevant for that country, then e-com is going to work for you.
That's awesome. I love it. Another one. This is a good one from Jonathan. What bid EPC's uplifts do you see from using your lookalike tools?
So if you're talking about the bid that you have to put in the system, at least initially, I would suggest going 10% up more than what you usually bid. Again, it depends on the geo. But again, because the conversion rate is going to be higher, because your CTR hopefully is going to be higher as well, then your CPC within a week or two could go down. I would try and combine that again with the CBS tools. That's going to improve the results much, much faster. Give it a try. There's 3 different types. Again, free content on the site teaching you how to use it. So combine lookalikes with that, and the results are going to be best.
Oh, that's great. Jonathan is a great affiliate, so I'm sure he appreciates that. Another one for a newbie, what's better to be tried on Outbrain? This is probably like a category question.
So again, I would try something that has a CPA higher than 45, $50. I would choose. I wouldn't go for something too low. I would go for a good market, but I wouldn't go immediately for the biggest one. So if you think about the US, that's a super important market. The user value there is amazing, but the competition there is extremely, extremely high. So I would go somewhere where I know the quality is high enough, but isn't as difficult. So Germany, if you're able to get your pages translated to Germany, is amazing. The UK could show great results. Spain, Italy, all of those should be one of your best options. If it's English, go for UK. South Africa is great as well. We have amazing publishers there, and most people are missing out on that. So go for a country which is not too competitive and a high enough CPA to test it out.
That's awesome. That's really good. I think we kind of went through this, but how much should one spend per day as a new affiliate on Outbrain?
So again, I wouldn't recommend going lower than 50. 75 to 100 is the sweet spot of where you should test. I know it's a bit high for everyone. Not anyone can do it, but if you're willing to test it on self-serve, which is sometimes a bit more difficult, then we don't have the recommendation. You can start at $20. My recommendations are for managed clients, let's say mid-size and higher sizes of clients. That's where you should start at.
Awesome. Perfect. I have another one from Ramon here. What are the main problems affiliates have or complain when buying Outbrain? For us, is that campaigns slowly stop spending after a few weeks. And also, it's super hard to buy more percentage of traffic from best converting sections.
Okay, so the biggest complaint we have is, and it's going to be a quote, oh, but I'm running it on Taboola, I'm running it on Facebook, I'm running it on Google. Why can't I run it with you guys? That's the biggest one. What affiliates and brands as well have to understand that each company is different. We have our own set of guidelines. We have to take under consideration the publishers we have, and we have to protect them, because if I mess up something with CNN, that's a big impact. I have to be respectful of their sites and their readers as well. So stuff that you may be able to run on other platforms, I'm not going to accept. For scale, that's not something we hear as much right now. We are changing and improving the algorithm all the time. But if you see a drop, make sure you didn't make big changes to the CPC. If you are lowering it, do it slowly. Make sure you don't have to cut the bid by half. If you want to give it another test, don't pause your campaign, but do pause ads which are not buying and upload some new ads. Even if it's the same one, give them the chance to re-explore the network. Those ads may end up finding new publishers that you might have missed out on, or new audiences, and the CTR is going to go up. The biggest factors for algorithm for scale is going to be CPC and CTR. If both of them are high enough, then you shouldn't be dropping on traffic size.
Thank you so much for replying to that. That was a good one. And I know a lot of people were wondering. So that's awesome. And thank you guys for asking the questions. I love it. This is why we're here. And we're so excited to help. All right, another friend, what requirements to sign up with Outbrain? And I think that we have this question because on MaxWeb, we have a bunch of requirements for affiliates to work with us just because it's a matter of fit. So, there are specific requirements for an affiliate to work with Outbrain.
So I wouldn't say there are requirements. There's two, let's say, tiers of the ways you can work with us. If it's a self-serve client, we do support it in a lot of geos, but not all of them. And then you just need to open an account with your credit card, and that's the only requirement. Okay, it's gonna charge you, I think, at the beginning of $50, and then slowly spread out. If you want to be a managed client, then you have budgets for that. So each team has different requirements. My requirement usually is knowing that you have a specific budget or potential budget for the first month or so. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm not going to waste my time on someone saying, I'm going to spend $500 or $1,000 for the first month, because I'm going to give you time and hours, not just from me, but from one of my team members. So I need to make sure I allocate them to people where they have good enough requirements. And from there, it's the same process as any other platform. You can either pay us with credit card or prepayment in a lot of cases. It depends on the client and client location and how we support their billing. That's going to be usually the main factor we take under consideration, where you're located at and the budget size you have.
That's awesome. Thank you. Great answer. You're on a roll. I love it. All right, question from Joel. When launching a new campaign, what targeting options do you suggest using? Start with interest?
I never suggest opening just one campaign. I would test two campaigns. One of them would be more interest targeting stuff that you know is super specific for you, what you know from other platforms, what you'll figure out is going to work for you. That's going to be one. The other one is going to be a bit wider than that. But if you are running wide like that, I will start with a bit lower CPC and see what's working. And allocate the budget according to that. You might, because if you use interest targeting from day one, again, you might miss out on specific publishers or specific audience types. So that's a great tool, but you have to compare it always to the other results. CBA, once you do start getting conversions and you see that the traffic quality is good, I would open the third campaign, maybe even the second one with CBS that I mentioned, to see if our algorithm does a better job than manual work. Those are the biggest tips for launching your first campaigns.
Awesome. I love it. Again, on the minimum budget, I like this. We have some friends that logged in a bit after you mentioned that. But how much minimum budget is needed to become a client of Outbrain?
So I see the question, it says managed client. And again, that's something specific for each office and each team. If we are in the EMEA region, which is what I'm in charge of, usually we expect the first month to be around $5,000, which is not high. Actually, it's quite lower than what other platforms are requiring. But if you're going to tell me it's a bit lower than that, but you have potential that we talk and we come to an agreement, that's fine. But usually that's like the minimum monthly budget for a managed client. You're still going to be the one working on the platforms. You're just going to work with someone from our account managers. But again, each office, each team has a different requirement. Guys, if that's the question, that's the number one question. You can always reach out to me on LinkedIn, and I'm going to connect you to someone from a relevant team for you. So I don't want to mislead you and tell you something which is wrong. Again, tell me where you're from on LinkedIn. I'm going to send you the right way.
That's awesome. I love that. I will take this one. Can you advertise MaxWeb health supplements product in Outbrain? You can, but as Haran said, always reach out to the right person. For example, with MaxWeb, you have your account manager. We already know the offers that do well with our partners in Outbrain, because not every offer is going to work, right? So sure, some of them are going to work beautifully. That's why we're here. But there are specific offers that do well on Outbrain on the approval side also. So at the end of the day, just check in with the account manager. But it's fairly easy. And for us, we notice that as long as we have a really good communication with you guys, with Outbrain, and we're willing to make any changes that you guys suggest, it's going to be a good offer, and it's going to be easy for us to run.
I think in addition to that, we made a huge leap in the company towards affiliates. And if 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you would used to send us pages, someone would say, I want to run this. We just say, no, you can't run it. Right now, even internally, the process is completely different. We get stuff pre-approved. We tell you what needs to be done, what needs to be changed. And it's going to save you guys a lot of time as affiliates that uploading campaigns and getting them rejected. Make sure you talk to your rep on the Outbrain side. Make sure you talk to your rep on the MaxWeb side as well. Usually, both companies kind of know what the other one wants and doesn't, but don't try and go from the side and upload something which wouldn't get approved.
Awesome, I love it. How to better cloak Outbrain?
Don't cloak. We don't approve cloaking. That's type of stuff we don't approve. Guys, honestly, we have people who did it in the past. They got caught. There's some of them which I'm still considering friend, but they can ask as much as they want when they can go back live on Outbrain. Once you get caught doing something like that, you're not going to go back live on the network. I can tell you We have a specific client. He used to be a big spender. He did it once, he got caught. I warned him afterwards. He did it again a few months later, got caught again. He left that company and moved to another one. He's still not allowed back on our network. So he's banned for a while within our company because he put our business on the line. He risked us with our publishers. That's something we don't accept. I highly recommend not doing it on other premium networks as well. They're going to be, not sure they're going to be as harsh as I am. I'm a vengeful person, but don't do it. Be as honest as you can. We accept any white hat offers you have. Just don't go across the line.
The viewers are having a good laugh here. Valentin was joking. Jan was like, "Oh, not a good question to ask." Well, any question is good, right? That's why we're here. This why we're making this live because hey, you know, some people have these questions. They're wondering. You might as well ask, and you're gonna get the right answer. So
that might have been a joke, but I'm sure there's a few people who are there seeing that question, saying, "Okay, we might learn something, how to do it." But again, that was a joke. Some people take it seriously, and some people actually try and do it a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, with our experience too, with any traffic source, in the long run, it's really not worth it. Oh, this is a good one. Do you always recommend to run global performance, brand safe MSN white label? We tried without any white label, and traffic is 5 times cheaper, but the quality is not there. And why we see so many site-wide sites, they never seem to convert, and there are so many of them, it's impossible to block them all. I have a list of more than 4,000.
Okay, so this goes back to what geo you're running on, what your offer is, and who you are. Saying site-wide sites don't work, that's generalizing something. There's a lot of publishers and a lot of affiliates who have specific offers that are working on those type of offers. Usually, by the way, it's easier conversions than selling something as CPA. So I have people who are promoting Chrome extensions. That type of traffic is amazing for them. For health offers or for e-com, it's not as good. If you're running in the US and you're an affiliate doing performance, yeah, try and target either the MSN whitelist, if possible, through an account manager, or the performance one, which is always being updated. Those are my recommendations. If you're running in other countries, I mentioned Germany before, I mentioned Italy and Spain. I wouldn't say those are mandatory over there. It really depends on what you're running and where you're running it at.
Awesome. I love it. Is it possible to promote casino and crypto products on Outbrain? So I'll let that up to you because we don't have any, so I'm not sure.
So crypto for sure is a no. We used to allow it about 3 years ago, but again, going back to cloaking, people misbehaved. And then we had to reject all crypto offers because just weeding out the good from the bad was too much of a hassle. So people who were cloaking, people who were redirecting users, destroyed it for everyone. For casino, if you do have a casino offer which is licensed in the UK, you can run that offer over there. There's a specific whitelist for real money gambling if it is licensed again. There's a specific IO you need to sign and show us the license. If that's the case, then you can run it.
Awesome, beautiful. Well, it's been like 45 minutes. Sorry, Haran. Initially, I told Haran, I just need you for 30 minutes. And, I should have known this is going to go so well. And we have, so many, great questions here. I'm going to ask you one more. This one is for me because it's so important. And I want us to be like on the same page. Basically, I'm seeing the different trends. And when I talk to industry leaders, everyone seems to be, when they look at trends, it's very specific to social or native. So I'm asking you, in your position at Outbrain, and your position as knowing so what our affiliates are doing, what trends are you really seeing for the rest of the year and maybe next year?
Right now, what I'm seeing and I'm expecting to see, health offers and e-com are here to stay. Those are not going to disappear anytime soon. Not just because of the pandemic. I think people got used to it. People got lazy. They're used to ordering all stuff online right now. And again, they're a bit more worried about their health. I think at some point we're going to see travel coming back to life with more countries starting to travel, even if it's internally. That's something we're going to see. And we are seeing gaming, so mobile apps and desktop games are going up, but we're seeing it for people who are 65 and older, which is different than the younger audiences we used to see, which is reasonable because people all of a sudden spend more time at home. They're trying to find new stuff to do. Games are always great. That's one of the biggest verticals right now for the more mature audiences. But again, e-com, health offers here to stay, probably going to go up. If you are running those offers, make sure you are aware of the current trends. So look at what people are doing, look at what each country is doing, and try and find something specific for each market. That's the biggest trend that's going to happen right now. France is not the same as Italy. Italy is completely different than Israel. Israel is the opposite from the States. Try and figure out what's working in each specific place and run those offers for them.
Awesome. If you don't mind, I'll take like 3 more questions from the audience. Because we have so many. This is so fantastic. So Grega is saying, 2 years ago I tried my first campaign on Outbrain. The campaign was declined, without a lot of questions. It was a non-neutral offer. It was a VSL, and he never bothered to advertise again because of no real explanation. His question is, should I try again? Obviously with other campaigns.
Yes, you can also try with the same campaign. Our guidelines are always changing. One of the things I like the most about the company, there's no algorithm rejecting or approving your campaigns. Okay, what's happening is that we have a huge team of content reviewers. They all know the guidelines right now. It's a specific team which is working 24/7. They're more able to give out answers. Our support team is more responsive. And if you want to save yourself the headache of uploading a campaign and getting it rejected, again, you can always email me. You can always pre-email someone else from the support team and see if it's even possible to do it. We're going to give you the most honest and accurate answer we can. We're not going to tell you to run something which won't get approved. It's going to be a waste of time for everyone. So again, I would for sure test it. We changed a lot in the last, not just 3 years, but 2 years and 1 year, 1 month. We change and improve and evolve all the time.
That's beautiful. And, I agree. And that's the best answer. And even, it's the same when you decide about working with MaxWeb. It might not be the right time for you. If maybe you get a decline in a few months, if we change our policies, our friends at Outbrain are the same, right? It's just a matter of making sure it's a good fit for everyone. A good question from Brian. Great stuff, guys. Thank you. Do you see going straight to video landers, VSLs, or having a jump page prior to the VSL work better?
That depends on the page. That depends on the offer. I'm a true believer of having the jump page that you mentioned, or pre-lender that some people call it. I see it as a huge benefit. The bounce rate on the end page is going to be lower. The user quality is going to be higher. I see it as a filter. So if you have a good content page that explains the offer a bit, gives some sort of preview, then the users who are going to go to the second page are users who are actually interested in the product. They already know what you're going to tell them. They know what you're going to sell them. So the conversion rate within that page is going to be much higher than before.
That's awesome. And I'm seeing the same thing. So I completely agree. Imran, I'm seeing your question about the best offer or the supplement offer for Outbrain. Haran is going to reach out to you and he's going to let you know, right? Because we already know which offers are doing best. So yes, Imran, I promise you will have an answer on that. Well, we're way over our time, but thank you so much, Haran. This was fantastic, and it just tells me that we need to do it again soon.
Whenever you need me, and thank you everyone for joining us.
I know, yes, thank you so much, guys. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go through all the comments again after the live is over. We're gonna make sure we didn't miss anyone, and my team, and we're gonna make sure we reach out to you. If you need a contact, Haran's LinkedIn, we'll make sure to connect you guys. If you have questions specifically for Outbrain, we would be more than happy to redirect you to the right person. And we're so grateful you guys are tuned in and listening. And Yeah, thank you. We have Ian. Haran, you probably know Ian Fernando. He's a great friend. He's going to come next in a few minutes here. So, yeah.
Good luck. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Talk later. Bye.